Welcome in Tuesday morning edition, Blue Sky Live here with you today. Chase Parham, Neal McCready, Clark Ford Studio. Ole Miss at Alabama tonight, 6 o'clock on the ESPN family of networks. Rebels getting a very, very difficult road test, the one of two this week. Tuscaloosa tonight, Starkville on Saturday as well. So big week. Chris Beard spoke to the media yesterday. Neal was in attendance for that appearance with Mr. Beard. And we will discuss some college football stuff, a lot of basketball stuff today, and whatever else suits our fancy over the next hour and change here with you. Hope you are having a wonderful, kind of a cool, cold morning in Oxford. Blue Sky locations, though. Plenty of hot food, plenty of hot lunches. Got Sweet Daddy's locations that are quite hot as well with the ribs, the pulled pork, the side items, desserts, and plenty more. Again, $5.69 for those lunch specials here locally. And no matter where you are in the state of Mississippi, not too far away from a Sweet Daddy's to get your barbecue on. So I didn't see that. Anyway, Blue Sky all over the state of Mississippi. And again, coming to you from the Clark Ford studio.
We are. Clark Ford is in Amory, Mississippi at Jamel Hills, has completely lost her mind. This is a brutal last week for her. She's struggling. Brought to you, Clark Ford Studios. Clark Ford's in Amory, Mississippi, 662-257-1900. Call that number. Ask for Corey Clark. Tell Corey what Ford product you're looking for. He'll send you a quote within 15 minutes in business hours. Just right to the bottom line. No hassle, no haggle. You get your quote. The rest is up to you. You can shop that quote around, or you can do what I've done, what I recommend that you do, and that's hop into a Clark Ford today. 662-257-1900. Guest join on the Campbell Clinic hotline. From fractures and sports injuries to complex spine and limb conditions, the pediatric orthopedic physicians at Campbell Clinic in Oxford are the only specialized pediatric orthopedic team in North Mississippi, providing expert care for growing bodies. So visit campbellclinicoxford.com to schedule an appointment or call 901-759-3111.
We did not discuss it because I didn't really deem it overly relevant yesterday. But A.J. Brown called on the sidelines reading a self-help book on Sunday night. The Power of the Internet, The Power of the NFL. Yesterday, that book, Inner Excellence by Jim Murphy, the number one bestseller on the entire Amazon.com yesterday. After A.J. was reading his much-worn copy during the course of the game on Sunday evening. Power of the Internet, right?
You ever read self-help stuff?
All the time.
Do you really?
Yeah, I'm addicted to it. And it's I mean, look, obviously it has not completely transformed me into some wonderful robot of productivity. However, what gets me about it is I really like it, and there's a few authors and books that I recommend wholeheartedly. There's a few that are really, really good. But it's really basic stuff that you're very aware of yourself. You just need somebody to say it in terms to you over and over and over again. Because like no self-help book is completely reinventing the wheel of something we have not probably heard or thought ourselves. Right. But sometimes there is something with some stuff. Yeah, for sure. There's a couple that I think are good for people to read depending on what their age and situation is. Yeah, 100%. I mean, you don't ever want to read 2 or 3 in a row. I don't think you got to mix in some other stuff, but like occasionally get a little recharge, get a little energized. Yeah, sure, no problem with it.
All right.
I mean, on the message on rebelgrove.com, I guess it was last year. I wrote a lot about reading Quit by Annie Duke because it takes a different structure to it. Like, everybody goes, "Oh, just keep working hard," but like professional poker player talking about odds and things, talks about actually that the bigger thing is knowing when to quit something and start something else. That actually some people get way too motivated to keep going when it's time to stop, count your losses. Talks a lot about sunken cost theory, that what's in shouldn't just be maintained and duplicated just simply because you put money and effort into it. It's really good. If there's like one for people, especially professionals, entrepreneurs, that kind of thing, I think that would be the one. Yeah. That, and then there's one by, I think, Marshall Goldsmith is his name. It's What Got You Here Won't Get You There. And it talks about sometimes you have to change up things that have been successful or frankly lucky sometimes that you credited to yourself when really it was just the universe throwing you a bone.
Oh, there's a lot of people that do that.
Yeah, it's a lot of that. So those are 2 off the top of my head. Yeah, 100%. Not your thing.
No, I'm not saying. I've just never done it. Not that I have nothing, no reason. I just haven't.
I have to listen to them in audiobook form. I know I won't read them, but if I'm listening to them, I kind of treat them like a podcast. because it is kind of a podcast. So I just have it in
Yeah.
my ears and I'm doing whatever, and it's cool.
I've had to learn how to say no to people.
That's one.
That's just a
Valuing time.
just don't. I catch myself saying I don't have time, and when I think about it, I don't have time, and it's because I stretch myself too thin. So you learn to say no to things, and if you're not a priority, then they can't be a priority. If your time's not a priority to somebody,
That's true.
their time can't be a priority to you.
Hayden asking us what we eat for breakfast. We're the wrong two people to talk about there, I would assume. I have an element in my water right here, and I've had 1 cup of black coffee, and that's what I've had today.
I've had black coffee. I've never gotten it right. Probably will never get it right. Odds are I will eat nothing until 1-ish. If I do eat something, it'll either be a protein bar or I will scramble some egg whites. But I will probably eat nothing because we podcast until 9:40. It's 10. I usually have something I've got to do. A lot of times I have another podcast right away. I've got, like this morning, I've got to write. I've got to watch recruiting, the transfer portal stuff. I'm waiting for something specific.
Yeah.
I have found if I take 30 minutes and go fix breakfast, I almost always pay for it because something happens. So I typically don't eat breakfast.
This is probably something that says more about me. I've got to mix in at least like 1 real egg with egg whites. I struggle with just egg whites. The texture and the taste.
I do that a lot.
Yeah, I have to have at least some egg in there to do that. I mean, my biggest thing is just trying to make sure I avoid carbs in the morning. And then somebody there says, let's see, what's the latest you guys will eat? If I'm doing well and I'm on routine, no later than about 6:30, 6:45. If I'm struggling and having a difficult time with diet and things, I will eat later than that. But I know myself that if I'm doing well, it's over about 6:30, 6:45.
Yeah, this probably will change for us in the next few weeks when soccer ends, but I don't like eating dinner at 5:30 in the afternoon. Just
because you get hungry?
No, I'm not hungry at 5:30 and I don't want to eat just because. And so we'll end up eating late. I don't know. I'm not super disciplined when it comes to that. Like the whole we must eat at 6:30 or else.
Yeah.
I'm not that way.
You're not meatloaf guy.
No, and in the work that we do, that's not realistic. Like I got to watch a basketball game tonight at 6:00. I'm not going to sit down and have dinner while I'm doing it. I'm trying to take notes and you know what I mean?
Look, it's always my baseball season.
So what do? I eat at 5:30? I don't want to eat at 5:30. I'm not hungry at 5:30. I'm not interested in food at 5:30.
During baseball, I try to make sure I have my meal before I go so I'm not eating late, and then I always have to have at least something to sort of snack on that's not going to kill me as the night goes on. Because you're sitting there so long, you're just like, something. I don't know.
I'm pretty good about that. Like sitting.
It can be a damn cucumber. I don't care. Just something.
I'll sit at a football game and not eat anything.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I watch the people around me who are thinner than me, which is the damnedest thing. Go get plates of cookies. Plates of them. The whole game. Hot dogs.
Barbecue nachos at baseball. You get people get the barbecue nachos.
Yeah.
You go, wow.
Oh, I sit next to someone at basketball who every game goes and gets the barbecue nachos. And I'm like, I would weigh 400 pounds. I'm not judging. He doesn't. So whatever. But I would. Things I couldn't do.
Ooh, Triple says he works with a guy that eats 2 roller hot dogs from the Pilot truck stop for breakfast every day.
Mm-mm.
Ooh.
No.
My daughter hates hot dogs. Won't touch them. Can't stand them. Most kids at least like a hot dog, okay?
I don't hate them, but if you were to come down and say you can never have another hot dog, I'd say, okay, cool. I'm good with that.
I do like a smoked sausage, though, or something, though. I mean, a good, like, brat or kielbasa or smoked sausage or something on that family.
But I don't have to put it on a hot dog bun.
Well, no, of course not. The one thing she does have going for her is she only drinks water. She won't touch anything else.
Well, that's a good habit.
Yeah. Like, she won't even take a drink of a soda for putting a pill down. Nothing. Just calls it spicy and doesn't want it.
Yeah. Well, Good habit to have.
Oh, yeah, it's not the worst thing.
Even if you stumble into that habit, that's a good one.
Yeah, look, Hayden, this is your fault. You asked about breakfast, and this is how we got here. So it's really on you, bud. Send all mail to Hayden. He can put his address in the stream. Don't do that, please.
Blind Pig does have great barbecue nachos.
Everything's good. Blind Pig's damn good. Everything's good. Fried pork skins are good. Their sausage and cheese app is good.
Yeah.
Salads are good. Get a salad at Blind Pig occasionally. They got good salads.
I kind of like to think of it as our little secret, and so I don't really like telling everybody about it. Because you can go out in Oxford on a night where people are waiting in line for 3 hours to restaurants and just walk and sit right in the bar there. And
yeah.
You know.
Easy killer. No.
Yes, I don't really want to give that away. Although a lot of the people that no, stop.
It is 1 month from baseball season. It's a little startling, but that is true. Opening day, 1 month away right now.
Yeah.
They open up in Arlington. I saw basically the whole damn schedule is ranked when I was looking at the D1 baseball top 25 that came out yesterday for the preseason. Ole Miss is not ranked, but pretty much every damn body else is over the course of league play. And then again, they face Arizona on Friday, Texas on Saturday in a non-league game, and then Clemson on Sunday in Arlington.
Well, as I told you yesterday on a different sport, the obsession with rankings this early in the year is something I don't understand. Because you're either going to work, it's going to work its way out. You're either going to end up where if the rankings are still mattering at the end, you did something good. And if you don't win enough, it won't matter. So it's like there was a lot of angst about where Ole Miss would move in the polls yesterday. And I'm like, guys.
You had not researched it to see where they might or might not move up to?
Not even a little bit. I mean, I'd not even thought about it because I'm like, this is a big week of games. Like if Ole Miss is still ranked this time next week, they did something.
Means they won one of them.
Yeah. Means they did something. They went and got a big win. Top of the resume win. And if they're not, it won't be the end of the world. You'll have plenty of time to work your way back into the rankings.
The expectation is 3-2 after this week. I mean, it is 2 complete free shots in every way.
Yes.
Again, don't gripe tonight if Alabama's up 14 points. Stop.
Yeah,
they're really good. They're ranked 4th in the country. Ole Miss is ranked 21st in the country. They're 14-2, 3-0. Bama's 14-2, 3-0. And Alabama's favored by 11.5 tonight.
They have a minimum of 3 guys that will play in the NBA on this team. A minimum of 3. They're very good. They play a unique style. They don't lose at home.
I love their ball movement. It might be my favorite in the league.
And it took Nate Oates longer than 2 years to do this. This wasn't overnight. Which is what I was asking Chris about yesterday, but he was so locked into this game that he
was having a hard time go big. He couldn't go big picture yesterday.
You could tell he appreciated the question. His mind just could not go there. So he ended up talking about Mark Sears, which is perfectly understandable. Mark Sears is a beast, and if I was watching film of Mark Sears getting ready to play him the next day, I would have a hard time going big picture also.
You would be focused on Mark Sears as well.
I would be very concerned about Mark Spears destroying my team.
Alabama is the number 2 offense in the country for adjusted efficiency. They are number 38 defensively in adjusted efficiency. They are very, very good. They have, this is an interesting stat, and I think it means they find really good shots because they take a ton of threes. I mean, they're kind of an NBA sort of analytical team as far as shooting a lot of threes, trying to get ball moving on the perimeter. But they are the number 3 best 2-point shooting team in the country, which tells me they get really, really, really good 2-point looks based off the way they run their offense. Correct, Neal? Would that be the way that works?
Yes, and a lot of that is Sears. He's really, really good as a point guard. And then you have Phelan, who can play pretty much 1 through 4. Nelson's a good ball mover, even though he's a big. They kind of play an NBA style. They move the ball a lot. They swing it from side to side. That creates defensive mismatches, and then they attack. They're really good. It's more than system. It's system, but it's system with good players.
What is best for Ole Miss from a tempo standpoint tonight? What does this game need to look like?
I mean, they're going to play their tempo, so you can't slow them down.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They're going to go.
You just got to be efficient. Ole Miss has been really good about not turning the ball over. That has to be the case. They're going to have to shoot it well, and then you have to rebound. You can't give up a bunch of second and third shots. That's a recipe.
Disaster.
That's a recipe for just getting beat.
Yeah.
And look, the odds are overwhelming. They're going to lose tonight. They just are. I mean, that's not even negative. Anybody goes, that's a negative comment. No, it's not. The odds, the odds are over. They're a 12-point dog. The odds are overwhelming. They're going to lose the game tonight.
If you lose by 12 and you lose by 9 in Starkville on Saturday, it doesn't mean you're not a tournament team come March. No. I mean, it's 2 games you're not supposed to win this week.
If you get blown out tonight, you're not.
Doesn't matter.
You won't be the first team, and you won't be the last team to get blown out by this team in Tuscaloosa. And Ole Miss typically does not play well in Coleman. That has nothing to do with tonight's game. 0.
I've never seen them win over there. I've been several times, and
yeah, I have to think about it. Seems like Andy had a team win there once, but I don't remember. I might be dreaming that. He won at Auburn a few times.
Won Auburn a lot. They kind of handled them.
That was a different Auburn.
It was. Yeah, Andy and Kerman had really good success against Auburn until it fell apart there. Yeah, what I remember, the only thing I even kind of remember about a game at Coleman is they had one of their GAs or something, and she always counted cuss words from the opposing coach and walked into the locker room after the game. She was like, Andy's in second place all time.
Wow.
We were like, really? Who beat him? She was like, John Brady. I went, oh, okay.
Yeah.
There you go. So that was it.
Yeah, 2 people
she was giving rundowns.
2 people who are very creative with the F word. Incredibly creative.
They'll educate you in some ways you haven't heard that before.
Yeah.
You go, oh.
Yeah. Andy could use it in almost any form. Noun, verb, adverb, adjective, prepositional phrase.
Yeah, Coleman is not a nice arena, but they've put some lipstick on the pig. They play well there. It's sort of
it gets loud.
It's a home court because of kind of the way it is.
Yeah.
The way in some ways Tad Smith used to be, because it was just kind of your rinky-dink building and you played well there and knew it and it was loud. I mean, the pavilion is too nice in that way most of the time.
It was built to be a multi-purpose facility, and so you have it's kind of got a weird.
Well, they built the volleyball thing off of it. It's called their volleyball thing is called the Cave, and it's the Coleman Auxiliary Volleyball Extension.
Oh, I did not.
I believe I have that correct.
They do gymnastics in Coleman.
They do. Yeah, there's a lot of like Super 6 banners and stuff hanging up in Coleman from the volleyball. I mean, the gymnastics. Ken Palm has Bama finishing 23-8, 12-6 in the SEC. That'll be a very high seed if you do that. They currently have 2 losses. They lost 87-78 on the road to Purdue in West Lafayette earlier this season. That was back on November 15th, and then they lost a game on a neutral site to Oregon, 83-81 on November the 30th. They have wins over Illinois, Houston, Rutgers, North Carolina, Creighton, and then Oklahoma, South Carolina, and Texas A&M inside the SEC. So that's one hell of a resume they've put together today.
Yes.
That is not lacking the quality wins there for the Crimson Tide here to date.
Very good. Very good team.
Because Rutgers has some talent, even 95-90 there for the Tide over the Knights. They're at Rupp on Saturday, for anybody curious.
Oh.
Yes. Good games every day. So that's where Bama's at, just kind of analytically there for them. We'll look at the SEC schedule in a second. Again, 3 really good games tonight, and then a couple others that are not bad as well. I'm pulling that up here, and we'll go back to that sort of after the break here in a second to do that. But again, Bama favored by 11.5 in this one, over under of 163.5, so pretty high total there, into the 80s, if you will, on that one. Yeah, Ole Miss does not need Bama into the 80s to stay in this game.
Hard to win like that.
Feels like 72-73 is about where Ole Miss would have to have this thing to be in it late, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
I have a hard time getting them into the high 70s and it being a game that could be won there.
Well, you got to start fast, and you can't let them have
again.
No, they've played with that fire. I asked Beard about it yesterday. And they can't have that protracted period of no offense that they've sort of had in all 3 games. They can't have that against Bama.
First media timeout, you can't be down 11-2 and then try to
be hard. Be really hard. It's one thing to come back against LSU and one thing to come back against Arkansas. It's another thing to come back in Tuscaloosa. Those are not the same groups.
We'll come back, look at the other games in the SEC in a second. First, you've had Wendy's Nugs dipped in sauce. You've had them covered in sauce. Wendy's new saucy Nugs take the crispy and spicy Nugs you love and turn them up to 11. Between flavors like buffalo, honey barbecue, garlic parm. If you're a real heat seeker, try spicy ghost pepper. Only on Wendy's signature spicy Nugs. I dare you. 7 delicious ways to try the Nugs you already love. Pick a flavor, grab some extra napkins, and prepare to nug like you've never nugged before. For a whole new way to nug, it's got to be Wendy's. A participating U.S. Wendy's.
We'll have picks up again on Saturday as we get ready for another round of NFL playoffs. They're brought to you by Kaiser Flooring with locations in Oxford and Batesville. Kaiser Flooring provides outstanding quality flooring products and installation services to residential and commercial properties. Kaiser carries the best in hardwood, laminate, vinyl, and tile flooring, as well as carpeting. Their goal is to offer amazing and durable flooring products and superior services to make your life easier. Kaiser installs your flooring quickly and delivers the best flooring experience possible. At Kaiser, they believe the key to success is dedication to customer service and establishing relationships with their customers. So get in touch with them. It's kaiserflooring.com or call them in Oxford or Batesville. I'll have a mailbag to you at some point tomorrow. It's brought to you by Art Hayes, Sotheby's International Realty. Are you thinking of making a move? Put the power of Sotheby's to work for you. As a licensed agent with Sotheby's, Art Hayes can help you buy or sell in your hometown or anywhere in the world at no charge to you. Seriously. So call and ask Art how. Call 612-805-5929 or email Art at arthur.hayes@lakesmn.com. We're brought to you by Easy Hemp Company. Easy is a hemp-infused sparkling water. It's a guilt-free alcohol alternative, a natural way to relax and unwind. It's all natural, made with real fruit, no added sugar, low calorie, gluten-free. One 12-ounce can of Easy has 3 milligrams of THC. With Easy, it's easy to avoid the gummy scare and control your experience. So change the can, not the ritual. It's easy. Visit easyhempco.com. That's easyhempco.com to view the Easy Finder, to find Easy near you. Easy is Farm Bill compliant. Hemp derived from THC CBD extracts. It's for people 21 and older. Enjoy responsibly.
The Declaration of Independence Center for the Study of American Freedom is on the Ole Miss campus, and they aim to explore and examine the fundamental and founding principles of the United States of America. The center offers an academic minor in freedom studies and scholarship opportunities for Ole Miss students that bring along lots of networking potential. Learn more, contact Stephen Scoltetti at freedom@olemiss.edu or visit independence.olemiss.edu. Yeah, Tiger Woods does play golf tonight in the little indoor golf league thingamajiggy. I don't think that's going to hit your fancy.
No.
Apparently, it was a more watchable product than people expected.
Yeah, I watched a little of it because Tyler harassed me about it. It's fine. It's just I'm not a golf
Tyler
person.
betting on it?
He probably, I'm sure.
Okay. If it exists,
yeah,
decent chance.
It's fine. I have no issue with it. I don't know.
It is a creative, clever thing.
Yeah. I don't know that it's something I'm going to.
Will it work? I don't know.
It'll work for people who really like golf. Yeah. If you're not a big golfer.
You've got to slow it down and let them talk more. It only works if you get conversation and some back and forth. I thought the shot clock and how it moved was too fast.
Yep.
And it didn't give them a chance to sort of interact in the way that probably is the best television when you do that. Speaking of golf, congrats to former Ole Miss golfer Jackson Suber. He had his, after getting his PGA Tour card last year through the Korn Ferry, he had his season debut. He finished in a tie for 6th and netted about $280-something thousand on Sunday in Hawaii for the Sony Open. So good start there for Jackson in that one. So 6 o'clock tonight, ESPNU for Ole Miss and Alabama. 6 o'clock also tonight. It is on SEC Network. Mississippi State is in Auburn on the Plains for the Bulldogs and the Tigers. Yeah. I assume that Auburn is without Janiah Broome tonight.
He's out.
Okay. Auburn 15-1, 3-0. Mississippi State 14-2, 2-1. That lost the home loss to Kentucky in the last time that they played. They have Ole Miss again on Saturday, and then they're at Tennessee in the midweek next week. So Mississippi State and Auburn tonight at 6. Auburn is favored by 7.5, and they are 0-3 against the spread so far this season. So 7.5 there for that one. Total of 150. So 75 up there in Auburn and Mississippi State.
I don't hate that over.
For a guess. Let's see what Ken Palm's saying about tonight's game. Now I'm curious. Speaking of that, Ole Miss has a 22% chance to win tonight at Alabama per Ken Palm in their game. And Auburn has an 88% chance of winning tonight against Mississippi State at home. The Ken Palm computers like them some Tigers. I mean, it is I don't blame them, but it is
they don't lose at home.
I mean, check this out, seriously. Ken Palm on Auburn's list, the rest of the games.
Yeah.
The percentage chance to win. 88, 78, 77, 89, 73, 94, 76, 86, 58, 95, 93, 89, 70, 67, 81. Analytically, they have one game below 73% the rest of the way with Ken Palm. Sorry, 2.
Yeah.
They have a 67%, a 70%, and a 58%.
He's a brilliant coach. They don't lose at home.
Those are at Kentucky, at A&M, and at Alabama.
Yeah. They can beat you in a myriad of ways. They're very talented. They can shoot it. They defend you well. They're good. They're really, really good. I mean, that's a Final Four caliber team. Doesn't mean that they're a lock for the Final Four, but they're a team that is capable of getting to the Final Four. It's the tournament. People can get a bad draw in the second round.
Just have one of those days.
And it happens. It happens every year. It'll happen this year.
Somebody goes 16 of 30 from 3 and just beats your ass one night.
Some dude for another team just goes off and has the game of his life. That happens. And then
kid from Oakland last year.
It happened. I mean, Kentucky was better than Oakland last year. That's not a stretch.
No.
If Kentucky and Oakland played a 7-game series, Kentucky would win said series.
Yes. But that's not how it works.
It's not how it works. I'm not sure it's the best way of getting a champion, but it's very entertaining. And it's meant to be entertaining.
Yes. So State and Auburn tonight, 6 o'clock, SEC Network. Also 6 o'clock. They did a bad job spreading out really good games. Also at 6 tonight.
It's almost impossible.
It is. But I have a point. 6 o'clock, also tonight, Texas A&M at Kentucky. Really good game tonight at Rupp.
Yeah.
Damn good game tonight at Rupp. Kentucky favored by 6.5 in this one. Over under 159.5. Kentucky 13-3, 2-1. A&M 10-3, 2-1. Let's see a Ken Palm prediction on this.
Wade Taylor the fourth out again tonight.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
They are giving A&M a 40% chance of winning this game against Kentucky tonight. So 60-40 Kentucky A&M. And
like Grind says, I mean, Auburn lost to Yale last year.
Oh, that's true.
Auburn's better than Yale. They played a 7-game series. Auburn would win that series in 5 games. But it's not how it works.
And you would, after the first game, you would see what that offense looks like. You know what I mean? You would adjust so much where you just don't get to do that in real time as it is.
Game 3 would be an absolute beatdown.
Yeah.
And by game 4, Yale would quit.
Yeah.
It's not how it works.
Again, that's ESPN2 tonight, A&M and Kentucky. ESPNU tonight, Missouri is at Florida. The Tigers 13-2, 2-1. Florida 15-1, 2-1. Florida favored by 10.5 in this game. If it was in Columbia, I would be interested in here to see if Missouri could pull one and get it, but they're not going into Gainesville and winning tonight. So
I wouldn't think. I mean, I think Florida's a Final Four caliber team. Not as much as Auburn, but they're really good. Computers like them. I get it.
Tells you how good Alabama is at home and what Vegas thinks. Ole Miss is ranked 21st in the country. They're 3-0 in the SEC, and they are the largest underdog of any game being played tonight.
Yeah.
The rest of them, there's no close line. There's only one game within 5 points, or within even 6 points of a line, and that's Arkansas at LSU and the snoozer tonight at 8.
Yeah.
That's in Baton Rouge. Both teams 0-3 in the SEC.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah,
Arkansas minus 1.5 on the road.
Yeah. Like I told you, yes. If you forced me to bet that game, I think I'd take Arkansas and lay a 1.5. But I'm not being forced to watch or bet that game, so I won't.
Yeah, I don't. As opposed to football, where I really wanted home games, and I think that's cool to be on campus, I don't think I would want a home basketball tournament where you played home games. It's just too much of an advantage for me.
Yeah.
I don't think that makes sense. Now, the current format, again, doesn't make sense if you're trying to name the true champion, but I don't think that would either.
But I like tournaments. Tournaments are fun. I mean, the SEC basketball tournament, I've said this many times, is fun. The quarterfinal round of the SEC basketball tournament's as fun a day of college basketball as you'll get. It's great. You get 4 games, starts at noon.
Get our upsets, get our brackets. We're good. Oh, good.
It's good. It's usually good basketball. This year it will be very good basketball. Holy shit.
Tomorrow has a couple compelling games, I guess, in some ways. Georgia's at Tennessee.
Sure.
See if the Bulldogs can do anything on the road.
Big time opportunity for Mike and them.
And then Texas and Oklahoma, both teams 0-3 in the league in Norman tomorrow night.
Sure. Still good teams.
That'll be a 10. Like, I feel like both teams are going to be scrambling a little bit in that one because that's a must win in some ways. You can't just get completely out of this thing. Around the league, I mean, the country tonight, Indiana was off to a good start, but they got popped by Iowa on Saturday. Illinois is in Bloomington tonight. Want to catch a game there. Cooper Flagg will go off probably against Miami tonight. Miami with an interim coach, and they are 4-12 and 0-5 in the ACC. Duke now 14-2, 6-0 in the ACC. There's not much. The only other game in the country tonight that might be a little interesting is Baylor, who's ranked 25th. They are at Arizona, who's 4-0 in the Big 12, even though they are not ranked tonight. So that's where we are. That's where we are there.
Ooh, good night in the NBA, too.
Is it?
Yeah. Thunder at the Sixers. Joel Embiid out for the Sixers. Cleveland at Indiana. That's a good game. Sacramento, they're red hot since firing the coach. They're at Milwaukee. The Nuggets are in Dallas. It's the 8:30 game on TNT. That's a good one, too. So, yeah, good games.
Beard say anything else of note yesterday?
Nah, he was locked in. They were getting ready to get on the bus and go, and he was locked in. He was laser focused.
Yeah, somebody asked when do they go? They always go day before. They don't travel day of.
Yeah.
It's always day before for basketball teams. Well, I mean,
I started to ask him about what do you do on the bus, and then I didn't because he seemed so locked in. And then we finished, and he was like, "Getting ready to bus," and I was like, "Yeah, I saw the bus," and I was kind of mad at myself at that point. He goes, trying to decide whether to watch Porky's or National Lampoon's Vacation.
Really?
Yeah, and I was like, Vacation.
He was deciding between 80s comedies.
That's what he said for their bus ride.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Huh. You could have given me
So I could have
1,000 guesses,
so I
couldn't have gotten there.
I was kind of mad at myself that I'd not trusted my gut and had a little fun with it.
But you don't know that he would have been completely in the mood versus another day where he was a little more lighthearted.
He was locked in. Because he got a Mississippi State question because Ole Miss and State play Saturday. And I knew Sam with the Clarion Ledger asked it because he was working ahead. That's what that was.
Yeah, he's going to get him this time.
And we don't get but one media op a week. And so Sam was trying to get something there, and it was not fruitful. I mean, Chris was respectful about it, but he was like, I'm focused.
This is not where I'm.
We play Alabama at 6:00.
That is a remarkable stat.
Yeah, Ole Miss and Mississippi State will be ranked playing one another on Saturday in Starkville. It's the first time the two teams have been ranked together.
Is
when
that
they
really
play.
True?
That's what they said. I don't know.
This is not your thing.
I'm not. No. Like when you do strengths and weaknesses of me as a journalist, invoking history is my weakness. I don't know. I'm not judging people who build stuff off of it. I don't think that way. So I don't know. Because to me, that has zero bearing on Saturday's game. Like literally a zero.
Are you a big Porky's guy?
It's fine.
1981, the sequel of 1983. What do you think Rotten Tomatoes gave Porky's? What do you think the critics gave Porky's?
Oh, the critics destroyed it.
What do you think the critics gave Porky's?
32.
It's damn good, Neal. 33.
Okay.
What do you think the audience gives Porky's?
79.
57.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's kind of lost in that era and that time. That it doesn't get to play a lot of other.
It's too juvenile for me. Like it's just over the top. That's not my jam.
So he was trying to consider between that and the first Vacation.
Correct. The one where they go to
California. Yeah, I can't remember the name of the.
It's like
Wally World.
Wally World or something like that.
Yeah. What do you think it got from the critics?
I'm gonna guess it did okay. 72.
94.
94.
It is.
Wow.
It is certified fresh at 94.
Wow. And the audience probably gave it a very similar score.
I would have been stunned here. I would have missed. Audience at 85. Critics actually have it higher than the audience. The critics' consensus is blessed by a brilliantly befuddled star turn from Chevy Chase. National Lampoon's Vacation is one of the more consistent and thoroughly quotable screwball comedies of the 1980s. Completely. So you got Vacation, you get European Vacation,
Yep.
Christmas Vacation, and Vegas Vacation. Those are the four.
That's right.
You got a return from Randy Quaid and Vegas Vacation.
Okay.
He's in the direct-to-DVD sequel to Christmas Vacation.
Which is
by
a
himself.
horrible
I've
movie.
never graced the play button on that one. So
it's just it's Rocky 5 level bad.
I saw it in the stream. I'm kind of with you. Vegas Vacation is not a good movie at all, but it's sort of an okay rewatchable if it's just sort of on TBS one day and you catch it for 25 minutes and you laugh and it's dumb and it's whatever. I like it when they go to the casino where they're doing like paper, rock, scissors and flipping coins and stuff like that. I always crack up. It's fine. It's all right. European Vacation is bad, best I remember, right?
Yeah, I didn't like it.
They win the thing because they're doing like the trivia show, and she says his name. That's the right answer. Isn't this correct?
I don't remember.
For some reason, tell me if I'm wrong. I think I have this right, but maybe I'm thinking of a different movie. I think they're playing like a quiz game or something, and the question and the answer is like Lewis and Clark. So they're like Lewis and she goes Clark, and they go, yes, you win, and that's how they get it. I think.
I don't remember.
I think this is right.
I'll have to go back and find it.
Yeah, let's see what they got for Rotten Tomatoes. I'm sorry, guys. It's January 14th, and here we are. I can step out while Neal breaks down the transfer portal. European Vacation, 37% from critics, 49% from the audience.
Okay.
So that went as you would anticipate. And I would assume Christmas Vacation is not well liked by the critics at all.
Really?
We'll see. Well, here's your question, because this happens sometimes, and I haven't hit the button yet.
Okay.
This is what happens sometimes with Rotten Tomatoes, is you don't know what critics did it when it came out and what critics have come back since. Because the critics that have come back since are going to give it a higher rating because of its nostalgia and longevity than at the moment sometimes.
By the way, we never discussed this. On Christmas Day, I actually watched the damn TBS film for a little while.
Neal, why?
And I didn't hate it. Maybe it's something about my
sentimental.
age.
You got sentimental. You got sentimental?
Yeah.
You got sentimental.
There were parts in it
that catches you in the mood, in the moment, and it just beats you over the head with it for 24 hours.
It wasn't bad. Just saying.
What parts weren't bad?
All of it was just kind of like, there was parts of it where I was like, oh, I never really saw that before. Because I've always sort of aggressively disliked it.
It's easy to aggressively dislike.
And then so I sort of gave it a chance, and I was like, wasn't so bad.
It's sentimental It does pull heartstrings and the hope and the joy of the season and all that stuff. I like making fun of it, but I do get why it's the one that's showing for 24 hours.
Oh, 100%.
I do understand that.
Yeah.
You show It's a Wonderful Life just at 7 o'clock on NBC on Christmas Eve, and that's the one you do.
All right, what was the score for Christmas Vacation?
No, I didn't say Vegas was the best one. Good grief, no. I mean, Christmas Vacation and the original are the two best ones. I said it's highly rewatchable, Vegas Vacation. Christmas Vacation, 72% from the critics, 86% from the audience.
Okay.
That's more than fair.
Yeah, it's fair.
That's completely fair.
It's a great movie.
And then Vegas Vacation.
Young people don't like it as much as like we do.
They really don't.
I think
why?
My theory?
Yeah, sure.
It's a little too edgy from a
Do you really
stereotypical standpoint. Yeah, young people don't
think that affects that much.
Young people don't like that stuff.
I mean, I always see that on the internet when like the young people go, "Oh my God, y'all watch Friends?" And all the stuff in Friends, and I'm like, all right, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a
we
joke.
just laughed at it, right?
Yeah,
it's like the 80s movies that I grew up watching.
Well, we did normalize date rape, Neal. I mean, just saying. That's the one they might have a point.
I'll never forget Campbell coming down after we got her to watch it, and she was like, "That is so rapey." And I was like, "What?" And then you think about it, and you're like, "Yeah, I guess so."
Yeah, I don't know how we got here. I'm finishing. I promise. Vegas Vacation, 15% from the critics, 51% from the audience. Just to finish the.
I know there are people that want us to talk about like rev share and stuff, and it's just so hard for me to make myself go do it. No offense, I'll do it because it's my job and we talk about it. But you know why I think I hate the rev share conversation is to really have the rev share conversation. If you're gonna really have it. And really answer questions, you've got to be really frank and honest, and you're advocating at that point for people to lose their jobs
because you have to cut so much.
You're firing people who have families, who've lived in a community for decades. You're saying, well, their job is not necessary; it should be fired, so that you can pay a 18-year-old kid $400,000 to play one season at your school. I mean, I think that's why I don't like the conversation, because nobody really wants to have it that way. Yeah. And I get it. I don't want to either, frankly. I understand. But that's honest truth. You'd have so much bloat. Every athletic department has it. Every university has it.
Yeah,
It's not just athletics. It's universities.
It's literally the way the system.
Yeah, I mean,
created
like,
it. So.
All these universities don't need all these vice chancellors. They don't. But when you fire those people, I mean, you turn lives upside down. So when you do that in athletics, so what do you what? Yeah, I mean, is there a way to streamline college athletics? Of course. Yeah. But that's not the way the business was built.
Yeah. That's all.
Yeah, you could do it, sure. Walk in and go, your sport makes no money, everyone's fired. We don't need all these administrators now. You guys are fired. Yeah, you save a bunch of money. Now what?
Yeah. Who the hell needs tutors? Whole department out. Peace.
Yeah. No one cares about academics anyway. We don't need an academic support system. You're out. There's really nothing to comply with anymore. Y'all are all gone. We're going to keep one compliance person. Everybody else is gone. You could do a lot of that. Do you really need that many analysts and stuff in all these different sports? Not really.
No sport-specific wait staff?
No. If you had a sport that makes no money like volleyball, does the volleyball coach really need assistants? I mean, really? Do they need a weight training program? A nutritionist? You're not making any money?
Yeah, I know.
Do you guys really need to fly to wherever? No. Does the women's basketball team really need to fly to Europe? No. It doesn't. It makes no money. Do you really need a strength and conditioning staff for the women? I'm being serious. Do you really need it? No, of course not. But what does that look like in real life when you
That's
do
the
it?
point. Yes.
When you do it.
The point.
So it's one of those things that on paper, you're like, oh, yeah, sure. Could I walk in and sit down with the people at Ole Miss and go, all right, here we go. Let's find $20 million. Ready? Let's do it.
We can find it.
I can do it today. We can do it today. We can do it in time to go have lunch at Blind Pig. Now, when we come back from lunch at Blind Pig and we put that into action, it's blood.
Got a lot of consequences there. Yeah.
It's blood.
Yes. Yeah.
And so I think that's the part that people don't get. Yeah, you could literally, you and me could go sit down with Keith Carter this morning, pull out the budget, and we could find $20.5 million. I feel confident.
Mm-hmm.
Just with no consequences. Cut it. Cut it.
Good.
Man, we do it quick.
Yeah.
But when you turn around and go, okay, now let's execute this.
A lot of families, a lot of people, a lot of stuff on a system that was built the way it was built.
Yeah. And, most people go, I don't care. Okay, well, if you lived here and you knew the people, you probably care.
Yeah.
Either that or you're heartless. I mean, we just, and you're doing all of that so that you can do what?
Yeah. Pay the whiteout.
Pay the whiteout to play for you for one season.
Yeah. So it's a good point right there. All right, we'll talk a little more about that and other stuff in a minute. First, at Citizens Bank, you're not just an account number, you're a valued member of the community. And now if you find yourself in the market for a mortgage, another reason to give them a try. Whit Wilson, who you know in the mortgage space, now at the Citizens Bank, ready to help you with your real estate goals. That's 902 Sisk Avenue, Suite E. You can discuss your options with Whit or other experienced bankers. They got a groundbreaking coming soon. If you're in there, ask about School Spirit debit cards. They donate an amount per every transaction to the local school of your choice, whether it's Oxford, Lafayette, or Regents. That's the Citizens Bank, PHILA.com.
Located in the heart of Cajun country in Broussard, Louisiana, Parish Brewing Company's simple goal is to make awesome craft brewed beer. They do a great job of it. They've got the Dr. Juice. It's a highly crushable juice bomb. Got Ghost in the Machine. It's a double IPA, just outstanding beer. They've got Envy, which is an American pale ale. So much more. Seasonal beers coming out, that kind of thing. So whenever you are in your favorite restaurant, your favorite grocery store, you're looking for beer, look for Parish Brewing Company. You won't regret it. We're also brought to you by Andy Ludecky with MyPerfectFranchise.net. Are you a displaced corporate executive wanting to put your career in your own hands? Are you an experienced entrepreneur looking to diversify? Andy can help. He owns multiple franchises and businesses. He uses his expertise to help others find their American dream through a very thorough and free consultation process. So call Andy. Put your life and your career in your own hands. It's 100% free. You've got nothing to lose. Find your perfect franchise at myperfectfranchise.net. Contact Andy at myperfectfranchise.net or give him a call. 404-973-9901. Get the beautiful, healthy smile you deserve at Corinth Dental. Dr. Bubba McQueen, Dr. Jenny Beth Hendrick are devoted to restoring and enhancing the natural beauty of your smile using conservative, state-of-the-art procedures that will result in a beautiful, long-lasting smile. From routine checkups to advanced treatment, including implants and Invisalign, Corinth Dental is here to help you achieve your smile goals. Schedule your appointment today. Take the first step toward a better version of yourself. It's corinthdental.com. We're brought to you by John Edwards, Regency Travel Incorporated in Memphis. John's part of Virtuoso. It's a worldwide network of travel partners that allow him to supply his clients with added values, unique benefits simply not available to most travelers. So get in touch with John. Give him some parameters. Give him a budget. He'll help you come up with options that make your trip one that creates a lifetime of unique memories. 901-494-3387 or send him an email at jedwards@regencytravel.net. Call Argent Welts 401k Advisory Services team today, and they'll conduct a complimentary, no-obligation benchmarking and analysis of your current 401k plan. Mention that you heard about Argent Wealth on BlueSky Live. You get 10% off your first year's fees. It's myargentwealth.com.
Podcast is brought to you by G&M Pharmacy, 662-236-2222. They deliver locally in the Oxford area, and they offer medicine for your prescriptions the same time each month and take care of you. Also easy to transfer your medications. One phone call, they take care of the rest. So whether that's Holly Springs with Tyson Drugs or G&M in Oxford, 662-236-2222. So I'm apologies to the other Andy. I quoted this as Andy Staples, but it was On Three's Andy Witchery. I just saw Andy in On Three and made a guess there, but there's more than one there apparently. So he used publicly available data, some different things, some different research methods to try to come up with where people had been paying some of these rev share stuff to date, or at least what they had been doing with their NIL packages to date. Missouri's a really easy sample size here because they were the first school to jump into the athletics department basically paying for NIL. They passed it in the legislature, then started funding it and going so far as basically invoicing the athletic department for the amounts at this point. So comparing that against Texas Tech, who's announced what they're planning to do in their situation moving forward for next season, we'll get here. So Missouri's is called Every True Tiger Brands. Okay.
Sure.
Again, it doesn't matter. They're marketing arms in theory because it allows legal money laundering. So they invoiced for roughly $16.4 million from September 2023 through December 2024, so a little over a year, 15 months or so.
Yep.
They invoiced $16 million. The monthly invoices show the number of recipients and amount owed by sport. Texas Tech's plan is calling for 74% of the rev share to be allocated to the football team. Again, the NCAA on back pay is doing 75 to football, 15 men's basketball, 5 women's basketball, 5 everything else. So Texas Tech doing 74% for rev share. Missouri, over those 15 months, they paid 64% to football student athletes. In basketball, Texas Tech is doing 18% to its athletes. Missouri did 23.3% to its basketball program over those last periods of time. And then women's basketball, 2% and 2.2% for Texas Tech and Missouri. A little more context says that Missouri has attributed 72.2% of its revenue to the football program, which was received 65% of the school's payments. Men's basketball team generated 23% of the department's revenue, and it received 23% of the payments. Then on a completely different level, but just mentioning Connecticut's men's basketball program's average revenue from the 2021 to 2023 was 50.3% of its amount. Football was 18.7%, and women's basketball was 11.2%. So it said even if UConn shares $10 million with its athletes of its roughly $100 million annual revenue, and if their revenue sharing distribution follows the other program's recent revenue attribution, the men's basketball program would hypothetically receive $5 million, and women's basketball receive 1.1 under that service. So just some info. That's all.
Yeah,
that's all I'm doing. I don't know. We don't know here yet what's going on. I don't know.
I mean, we could guess. I mean, they're probably pretty close to the Missouri model, although I think it'll be more football, but close.
Yeah, I mean, Tyler, I don't know, because what's the long-term answer? Is football breaking away from the universities? I have no idea. I have no way to even speculate.
No one's explained to me in a way that makes sense how that works. How do you go about doing that? Make them employees? Lease the football stadium to a private entity? Does that appeal to fans? I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I mean, is that appealing to people? I don't know. Is it absolutely foolproof where you can do anything you want? People are going to show up anyway because they love it so much? Maybe. I don't know. That's not me. I'm not being what's the word? I'm not being sarcastic at all. I'm simply saying I don't know. I guess we'll start to find out.
We don't know anything yet on that.
I mean, as of this moment, no, none of this has really impacted the sport at all. Does that mean it never will? I don't know. Maybe.
It's still so new. I mean, you make this comment all the time. We're not, but I mean, we're 5 years from
We're not even
completely
5 years
different issues. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it wasn't even a thought.
No, we're not even close to the 5-year mark of. All right, hey, let's pay all the players whatever they want, and they can transfer whenever they want to. We're nowhere close to 5 years on that. So we haven't seen a full cycle.
SEC officials will be doing the championship game on the 20th.
Okay.
Just passing along.
Yeah, I mean, Grind's right. He says it seems like the answer is it is until it isn't. That's fair. Hard to argue that.
Speaking of this a little bit, are we getting what we are getting? How quickly is the rise of coaches discussing that they're getting paid related to participation? You saw Rick Barnes call out one of his best players on Saturday saying basically, for what we're paying you, if you're not doing it, you can come sit by me.
Did you hear the nervous laughter in the room?
No, really?
Wild, yeah.
They didn't like it.
Oh, they didn't like it. It was so uncomfortable. But it's like, well, I mean, he's right. But listen, I'm not criticizing the writers in the room. I haven't written that yet. Hey, you made a lot of money. How could you,
If you're not going to do what you're getting paid to do, then you're going to sit over here, was the quote.
We didn't write it all season. Juice Wells made a lot of money to play that poorly. We didn't write that.
Colorado, Deion Sanders came out and said that he was basically fining or taking away money for grades. That if they had D's and F's, he was cutting their NIL payments.
Yeah.
He said that's the way it is in the pros. When you stop doing certain things that you're supposed to do, that you signed up to do, you're going to be affected. So
Yeah,
that's what we're going to do.
Zion Williamson was late for a flight the other day. They suspended him for a game, and he's not getting that check. He got fined.
You get fined for every minute you're late to meetings most of the time.
Yeah. Is that where they go in college? I don't know. And how do you do that, right? Because it's different. In college, there's no minimum payment. Maybe there will be with rev share, but as of this moment, there's no minimum payment. There are people who aren't getting any NIL. I've got to stop calling it that. They're not getting any salary. And then there's some people that are getting a lot of salary. So Carson Beck being 5 minutes late for a meeting at Miami and the third string defensive back being late for a meeting at Miami, are you going to fine them both $20,000?
That doesn't work.
How's that work?
Yeah. And you have an argument for that once rev share kicks in because it's the school technically paying it. Right now, you don't have a legal argument to do that. But you would at that point. I
mean, Ginger says we didn't write that about Juice, but we kind of said it. I don't know. I don't think I did. Maybe I did. I don't know. I talk a lot, but I don't know that I ever came out and said, hey, I've heard this kid's getting $500,000. He's sure as hell not playing like it. For $500,000, you could have done this, this, and this. We didn't do that. You do that in the pros. If you've got a third baseman making $27 million and he's hitting 210, you're like, shit, you could have used that money a lot more efficiently.
Spread that around.
You write that and no one in the front office gets upset at you. They're like, yeah, he's got a point.
Yeah.
You do that with college in the past. I mean, I could never go, boy, that Carnell Williams, he sure has been worth the bucket of cash they gave him the night before to flip him from Tennessee. People would be like, oh my God. Well, now it's like, well, hey, you made a last ditch bid. You got him. It sure was worth it.
Cam Newton at $180,000 was the best discount in sports history. I mean,
yeah,
that was 180. I mean, whoa, boy, he gave that back in
But
spades.
in today's market, you'd be like, boy, what a bargain that was. You'd literally, you'd write the words. You didn't write those words back there. I jokingly said them, but no one wrote it. Why don't we write it?
Sorry, allegedly. Talk about different worlds. In that same conversation, they were discussing that Charles Huff, who was at Marshall and now at Southern Miss, he was asked about some of those those same things at the AFCA convention about NIL and whatnot. He was at Marshall, though. So he said his biggest problem was players coming into his office complaining about their college football 25 video game rating. Oh. They came in mad at him about it. Not the same world, guys.
No.
Not the same sport. It still remains to be a crazy thing that a team that went 0 and whatever in the league in the Sun Belt, with Southern Miss, took the coach of the team that won the league. Takes a really specific thing for that to happen. Like, that's remarkable.
There was a lot there, I think.
He was leaving no matter what to go somewhere. It was a matter of where that would be at that point.
I don't know where it's going. We'll see.
Did you watch any Rams Vikes last night?
I did not. We did not turn the TV on. I lit the grill and I was going to turn the TV on and we didn't. Had stuff going on, talking, just didn't.
It was a rough night for Sam Darnold. The Rams dominated the football game. They were up 24-3 at the half. He got sacked a playoff record 9 times last night by the Rams.
Hard to play well when you're getting sacked 9 times.
He had a fumble that was returned for a touchdown. It was a rough one. Rams dominated the game 27-9, so now they are on to Philadelphia.
Okay.
You got Rams, Eagles, and then Washington and Detroit in the other game in the NFL slated for the week. I want to see a line on that Philadelphia game. That's where I was going real quick. Philadelphia -6 at home against the Rams. A little higher than I expected. I think that's a close game.
That's a big number.
That's a big number. Rams are playing well. They started 1-4 on the season.
Look, it's Sean McVay and Matthew Stafford. I mean, it's not a walk in the park. They're good.
You better show up.
They're good at what they do. Eagles are good too.
Can't wait for my Saints to hire Mike McCarthy. I'm so excited. This is going to change everything. Super Bowl bound. Here we come.
Oh, God. Sign me up for Matthew Stafford taking the Rams into Detroit for the NFC championship game. Would be some tight.
Here's one for you, though. On that note.
I mean, nobody would enjoy that game, right? In Detroit, where you walk into the stadium going, okay, one of two things is going to happen today. We're either going to go to the Super Bowl finally, or the most storied quarterback in our franchise's history is going to take our hearts, pull them out, put them in front of our eyes, and just cut
and go to a second Super Bowl since we got rid of him. And he won the other one, by the way.
God,
or is this his third? They got to when they lost too, didn't they?
I don't.
They lost to the Patriots.
Rams.
When they beat the Saints in the stupid pass interference thing. Yeah. Yes, they lost to the Patriots.
When I was a kid, they lost to the Steelers with Vince Ferragamo.
But that was still Goff, though. That wasn't Stafford yet.
Yeah, Goff lost. Goff is the one that threw the pass in New Orleans.
Okay. Too soon. Sorry. Because I think the Saints would have beat the Patriots. I think they would have gotten a second ring and completely changed the way that era is looked at that point.
Of course.
Here's my thing, though. Let's say Detroit wins, okay? And I get there's a lot of stuff that has to happen for this to happen, but they are the 1 seed in the NFC.
Okay.
Let's say they win the Super Bowl. Okay?
Who?
Detroit.
Okay.
Let's say Detroit wins the Super Bowl.
Okay.
Is the Stafford-Goff transaction the most successful in NFL history?
Ooh, way up there.
Because both teams get their title with the new quarterback?
Oh, you mean mutually?
Mutually. Everybody wins.
Yes.
It's the most successful period as far as everybody walks away and goes, perfect. Exactly what we wanted to do.
Rams got a title they wouldn't have gotten. Detroit got to rebuild the franchise and
then got
won a title with Goff. Yeah. Everyone walks away happy. Yeah. Maybe in sports history.
Mm-hmm. However, as you said, Stafford going into Detroit and winning the NFC would be just.
Yeah, if I'm a Lions fan, I'm cheering for Philadelphia.
You want nothing to do with that crowd.
I don't. That just feels like too much karma.
And you don't even get as much enjoyment out of beating him, probably, as you would feel like.
Yeah,
it's not his fault.
No, and he still gives to like charities in Detroit and stuff. Oh, it's brutal.
You don't hate him. You're not trying to like run him out of the building.
He's hard to hate.
I like him.
I mean, yeah. I mean, grew up in Highland Park and he's super successful and he's married to a beautiful woman and all that stuff. I mean, yeah, you can get jealous of him, but He's kind of hard to hate. He doesn't seem like a bad person. He's privileged in that he's very, very good. God spent some time with him.
We've all heard he and Clayton played baseball together. We're aware. We know that one.
Yeah, I mean, when he got to the front of the line,
he stayed there for a minute.
Yeah, he was blessed.
I mean, he's kept the arm as he's gotten older. I mean, he's still very capable.
Still has a head full of hair, and everything's good for him.
Yeah. I'm sorry, guys. I brought it up, the call. I apologize.
Yeah.
But I saw that yesterday with McCarthy, and I was like, oh, my God. Like, that's where this thing's headed. Like, it just is.
So the Friday night, by the way, the Texas Ohio State game didn't get it got a big number. It got 20.
Oh, I didn't see this.
But it didn't get as big of a number as past semifinals. Grind's comment made me think about this. It made me wonder, are we just going too long? Are we not used to going this far into January?
Well, we're not used to this time frame. No. The date.
Yeah.
We're done.
We've always played the semifinals on New Year's Day.
We're NFL now.
Yeah. Well, we're used to NFL meaningful games in January. Mm-hmm. That's part of the deal. Because you'll see this is the anniversary of this game and this game.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, of course. You're used to that. They brought one up.
Let's let the next year happen. I'm not ready to call anything yet.
They brought one up from my childhood the other day. The Steelers-Oilers game in Pittsburgh, where Mike Renfro got 2 feet in and would have tied the game in the AFC Championship game. That one still stung a little. I remember I couldn't have been more than 11 or 12.
So they said he didn't.
Yeah, they said he was out of bounds. It was the call that probably started the we've
probably ought to have a replay system.
We ought to have some replay system. Because he was in.
He definitely was in.
Absolutely. It was close, but he was in.
That would have potentially changed a lot of things. You give them that game.
Oh, yeah. Well, the Steelers don't have the 4 Super Bowls. The Oilers get at least 1. We probably view
I don't think
Earl
they stay
Campbell.
in town. I don't think it does something that large.
I don't know. It's a Super Bowl. Championships change shit.
Yeah. But you read, I mean, you lived it, but like you read from somebody my age about all the last few years of the Oilers in Houston, and it was bad.
It was bad, but they didn't have a title. They didn't go to the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
What if they'd gone to the Super Bowl? What if they'd won the Super Bowl?
Yeah. What year was that?
82?
Okay.
I mean, Earl Campbell was phenomenal.
Yeah, sure.
How is it different if Earl Campbell's holding up an MVP award? Super Bowl MVP.
Mm-hmm. Maybe so. Good question. All right, a little more NFL here after the break. First, the men's clinics in Madison and Brandon. So if you're experiencing things like low energy levels, no motivation, decrease in muscularity, increased belly fat, low sex drive, and more, you should give them a call, or you can go right there online, themanthing.com. They offer plenty of services to help you out and try to make sure you remain as healthy and as strong as possible throughout the aging process. They optimize testosterone, improve sleep, reduce inflammation, treat insulin resistance, and plenty more. So again, Madison and Brandon, that's 601-607-7869 or themanthing.com.
They would have had to rewrite part of Castaway if that had happened, because you wouldn't have had the Titans. The Oilers wouldn't have become the Titans. They would have had to do something else.
They probably could have figured it out. Don't you think?
We'll talk about it in a minute.
Okay. Sure.
Arnett's Fine Jewelry. Arnett's Fine Jewelry is a 4th-generation jeweler located in the old Lamons Jewelry Building, North Lamar Avenue in Oxford. They've got everything you could be looking for in jewelry. Diamond engagement rings, wedding bands, stackable diamonds, genuine stone bands, pearls, genuine color stones, diamond jewelry, flexible bangles, diamond pendants, earrings, and more. They want to be your jeweler at Arnett's. Are you retiring soon? How long should you wait to take Social Security? What accounts should you pull from first? Are you already retired? Should you consider Roth conversions? These are just some of the questions that can only be answered with a personalized retirement income plan. Andrew Seago Wealth Management, specializes in helping folks just like you come up with their retirement game plan. Whether you meet at his office in Collierville or prefer Zoom from anywhere, schedule a free discovery meeting and see what they can do for you. It's rebelsretire.com. We're brought to you by Window Hero. From window cleaning to pressure washing, gutter cleaning, gutter guards, and everything in between, Window Hero has the experience, equipment, and expertise to make your property look and feel brand new. If you're in North Mississippi, let Window Hero make your home or business's exterior look amazing. Their experts are fully bonded and insured. They provide specialized equipment, exclusive cleaning solutions, a satisfaction guarantee, and they can clean up to 4 stories on buildings. It's 662-510-7077 or windowhero.com. We're also brought to you by Comer Heating and Air, Southern Air Conditioning and Heating, different names, same great products and services. If you live in Oxford, Batesville, Tupelo, or the surrounding area, call Comer 662-801-1777. If you live in Hernando, Memphis, or the surrounding area, call Southern 662-429-4429.
So, what is it about Castaway that you're intrigued by?
I got
here?
lots of issues with Castaway.
I mean, I've told people, and I've had the link on the board. You should watch those couple videos on YouTube where it talks about the actual things going on in Castaway. Like, this is actually what was happening.
Right.
She was leaving him, and they weren't getting along, and
yeah, like, but she says, so he comes back, and he's in Memphis, and he goes, it's in the rain, and he goes to the house.
Yeah.
And she's awake, but nobody else is awake.
The guy was awake and just wasn't going to is that really worth it?
He's like, I got to let this.
Yeah,
this
come on. No matter what happens, you can't walk down the stairs right there.
No, you got to let him figure it out.
Whatever it is, it is.
But she's like, I just knew you were alive. All right, so you knew he was alive. You had this gut feeling he was alive, but you let people talk you into marrying somebody else and having children? Really?
I mean, how long do you wait, though?
I don't know.
I mean, they had a funeral because he goes, what was in the box?
Yeah, I know. What do you have an empty box up there?
How
can you have a funeral if there's nothing to bury? How can you have a burial with nothing to bury?
They put some Elvis CDs in it.
I don't care. You're not burying a person.
The quick 2 seconds that I laugh at every time in this movie is when they're doing the ceremony when he's come back and they do the seafood tower and he picks up the crab leg and is like, oh, Jesus, and throws it down because he can't eat any more seafood. Yeah. It's my favorite part every time. The look on his face, he throws it down. It's fantastic.
And when Wilson got away, he could have gone and gotten Wilson. But that was the moment that he realized, no, Wilson's just a volleyball.
Yeah. After all the time.
All of a sudden, Wilson, you get it?
He filmed like part of it and then lost all the weight and filmed the rest, right? Wasn't this filmed over like a 2 or 3 year period or something?
Something like that. But at the end, when he's back in Memphis, he's already gained the weight like really fast. Like, come on.
So they filmed it on the first part.
That's my guess. Yeah, I had issues with Castaway the other day.
It's a great rewatchable film. It's all really good. How long was he on the island? People are
It's like 4 years, right?
That's correct. 4 years. But he ended up with the woman who had the divorce from the guy at the end.
Yeah. Well, we assumed that he did.
They give you all the Easter eggs. Because his name is removed from the mail, the thing up there. At the very beginning, when you was waiting on the package, it has both their names up on the little sign thing. But when Tom shows up, or Chuck shows up there at the end, his is gone. It's just hers.
Oh, okay.
And he's stopping there, and she pulls up beside him at the end, and he doesn't. Oh yeah, he ends up with the woman who he took the package to, because the package is what saved him. He didn't open that one box. But just so happened, one of the other boxes had an ice skate in it with a really sharp blade.
And what was in the box that he never opened?
I don't think we know, do we? It's been a minute. I'm a little hazy here.
And why did he not open that one?
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, come on. You're on an island by yourself. You're opening every box to see if there's anything in those boxes that can help you stay alive, right?
I mean, Tom Hanks is an excellent actor. He is one of the few people that could pull off half a movie or more just by himself on a freaking island.
Oh, yeah, no, he's
amazing. And I'm compelled the whole time. I'm in.
Yeah, no, sure.
Show me what's next.
Yeah.
From fixing my abscessed tooth to cooking my own food to the whole deal.
Yep.
Do you think you could be in enough pain to hit yourself in the tooth with a rock and a skate? Because your body doesn't want to hurt itself. Like, your body has a hard time doing that with the pressure needed.
Jeffrey Epstein did it. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's the craziest one of all the stuff in culture today. We've convicted Ghislaine Maxwell of all the stuff. And everybody goes, okay, well, who were her clients? Oh, we don't know that. Who could ever know?
It's funny.
So wait, she's locked up forever for arranging these encounters. Who were her clients?
Yeah.
Who knows?
No, not only did Gilligan get stuck there, but they got stuck there again later. They went back and got shipwrecked again.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Didn't they? Isn't that right?
I don't know.
Didn't they get off and then one of the movies they ended up back there somehow
Maybe
or something?
So. As a kid, that was
Am I wrong?
Gilligan's Island was a mainstay coming home from school in Louisiana.
Of all the dumb premises and executions, it's the dumbest one.
Yeah.
You took a 3-hour boat tour with all your money, Thurston?
Yeah.
Everybody's got all their supplies. The professor brought every damn thing with him on a 3-hour.
Of course, because you never know.
It's so stupid. I mean, I watched it as a kid, too. I was fascinated with it. It was great.
Ginger had all of her dresses. She brought all of her wardrobe.
So stupid.
Still a very successful program.
It is. All right, let's do this quickly. We're all over the damn place today. ESPN predicting who is going to be hired for the 6 NFL jobs that are open. The Bears obviously fired that guy who was awful, maybe one of the worst coaches in NFL history this season from a losing games you should have won standpoint. They are predicting Brian Flores.
Jelaine, not Ghislaine. I apologize. It's Jelaine. I apologize to her, to her family, and to all of her unnamed clients.
Yes. Brian Flores, the current Vikings defensive coordinator, is the guest for the Chicago Bears. Just telling you.
Okay.
They're predicting, seems like a very Jerry thing. They're predicting Kellen Moore for the Dallas Cowboys. He's currently the Eagles offensive coordinator, former Cowboys quarterback, former Boise State quarterback.
Okay.
When he was the OC of the Cowboys, Jerry told the head coach he was going to be the OC. So that tells you what he thinks of Kellen here as he's making another move. They think Jacksonville is going to hire Joe Brady, the current Bills offensive coordinator.
He's done a good job there.
Yeah. They think the Las Vegas Raiders are going to hire Ben Johnson, the current Lions offensive coordinator.
Okay. That's who I would have thought that.
Yeah, that's a big one here.
I would have thought the Bears would hire him.
Mm-hmm.
But sure.
They think the Saints are going to hire Aaron Glenn, the Lions defensive coordinator. I'm fine with that. That's kind of the direction that I feel best about of the current options. For the Saints fans out there, they're also considering Kellen Moore, Joe Brady, Darren Rizzi, which they're not going to, Cliff Kingsbury, and Anthony Weaver for the position. I still think Mike McCarthy's a huge candidate in New Orleans now that he's available.
And probably one in Chicago, right? They wanted to talk to him before.
I'm scared to death right now of that. Current Steelers offensive coordinator Arthur Smith for the Jets job. That's what they're thinking there. Former Falcons.
Yeah.
Okay, and then Vrabel obviously is a Patriot, so that's already been decided.
That was pretty obvious when they made the move. When they fired their coach, I knew right away they had hired Mike Vrabel.
Grind says, but y'all watch Gilligan's Island and Andy Griffith's show.
I don't remember the exact order, but yes.
I don't remember. I did not watch the Andy Griffith show much.
Really?
Even with grandparents and great-grandparents. That was never one that was on all the time.
Oh, yeah. That was a good show.
I told you this. I've seen more like In the Heat of the Night and Matlock than I have the Andy Griffith show.
Who was with Thelma Lou? Was that Barney? Barney was with Thelma Lou.
Is that right?
Who was Andy's girl? That was...
You're losing me. I mean, I can see her face, but I don't know.
Aunt B.
Did Matlock always win his cases?
Yeah, I never.
Was there always something at the end that he won?
I never watched Matlock.
Did you not? Okay. Just one. All right, this has been all over the damn place. We
watched Flipper a lot. When I was a kid, I'd watch Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, and then you'd watch The Electric Company. It had Spider-Man.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's like PBS.
Mm-hmm. It's thrilling.
I can remember the song. Spy, nobody knows who you are. That's how it ended. Then Gilligan, Andy Griffith.
Yeah, my grandfather watched Gunsmoke. Yeah, I do remember Gunsmoke.
No, I remember Gunsmoke. My grandfather watched Gunsmoke.
Mm-hmm.
And we used to have to watch the Lawrence Welk show.
Oh.
Oof, that was brutal.
That's some TV there.
That was brutal. And what was the other one with Hee Haw?
Hee Haw.
Hee Haw.
Hee Haw. Your kids don't know Hee Haw, do they?
No, and then after a while, though, my grandmother would let us switch from Lawrence Welk and Hee Haw to World Championship Wrestling.
Oh, then now we're cooking.
Now you were okay. Let's go.
See, mine with that was I got whatever WGN baseball was being shown that afternoon, White Sox or Cubs, and then American Gladiators.
Oh,
I'd get American Gladiators.
American Gladiators.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Smoke and ice and fire and whatever. All right, we started with breakfast foods and vacation Rotten Tomatoes rankings. We're ending now with American Gladiators and WGN programming.
Yeah,
so I hope you had a wonderful day.
I mean, real quick, think about this in Mayberry. Mayberry's a little bitty town.
It was.
And Andy kind of always had a girl.
Mm-hmm.
Feels like you would have run out of options in Mayberry at some point.
Was the quantity that excessive, though? Or was it just a few mid to long term as time went on?
There was a strain of credulity as it pertains to the quality and quantity for Andy.
And I mean, he run the town.
He was the sheriff.
He was the guy. It's his town.
Oh, yeah. I watched the Jeffersons, of course. George and Wheezy. Moving on.
Yeah, I'm good.
And then what was the one with the it was based in Cincinnati, I think. Not WKRP, but
you're losing me here.
It was the woman and her two daughters. Valerie Bertinelli was one of them.
Hold on.
Valerie was. I fancied Valerie Bertinelli for a little while.
Did you really?
Back in the day, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, of course.
One day at a time.
One day at a time.
Okay.
Yep.
I don't know that at all.
They had the janitor for the apartment complex. I think his name was Schneider. He was always involved.
Oh, really?
In the show, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Jefferson's was a hell of a good show. Good times. With JJ.
Have you shown your kids All in the Family?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I remember All in the Family though.
Yeah.
Archie Bunker.
Uh-huh.
Pretty controversial character.
That's what I mean back then. Big time.
Yeah.
I don't know how that would play today.
Today?
Yeah.
Probably not well. They'd crucify him.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a real it was a real deal.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Enjoyed it. Appreciate you guys. Basketball tonight, 6 o'clock, Ole Miss, Alabama from Coleman Coliseum in Tuscaloosa. Come talk about it. Coverage, rebelgrove.com, and back with you again in the morning. Take care. Have a good day. We'll talk to you soon.